minute. Let's see, let me put this on all chat. All right, so I think we're all here pretty much. Good morning. I am figuring out how to streamline this pattern that I got in the Ginger Quilter box called Radiant Quilt. By then Came June, a quilt pattern by Megan Buchanan, and it's called Radiant Quilt. And good morning, Linda and Dawn. Let me go get my glasses. It's a rainy morning here in New York. A very rainy morning. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Catherine. So I'm looking at the block formation. I need one to label 1A, 1B, and 1C. So what I am going to do is, I think I'll label this 1A. And so in that case, it was a lot of quilting math. In that case, I just need to make sure that it's 18 this way, I think, for this to work. And it is just at 18, like just at 18. So I need one strip. Good morning, Joyce. And let's see how we do here today. It is a rainy day here in New York. It's not too bad. It's going to be 61 today as the high. I'm not quite sure what it is right now, but I didn't get to be able to cut this, so I'm going to cut this right now, and I'm going to set this aside. So the way I figured out, there's an A and a B and a C. Good morning, Myra. Welcome back. And good morning, Deb. So I am definitely going to set this aside, and I am trying to keep this straight. Let's see. I'm going to do A, B, hold on, I'm looking for C. Okay. So these are those Creative Notion pins, and okay, I'm going to put A here because I'm going to strip pieces. So I'm going to put that aside, and now I have to make one B and C, and it doesn't really matter to me, so we'll just take that. And I'm cutting one piece at a time, so I'm not going crazy the way I was in the past. So good morning, E. Marie. You're a sleepyhead? I'm very sleepy right now today. Everyone in my classroom seems to be sick. Okay, so this, I'm going to make this my B. And I'm like terrified they're going to get me sick. It is just too many out and too many sniffles. All right, so we're going to come in here. Now, if you're doing this Ginger Quilter box, and you're on Natalie's thing, I'm sure, just so you could see what I'm kind of doing. This is an A strip. You will know the size of this because this is in there, but you would know it as cutting it up. And the same thing with this. I wish I could give you sizes, but I can't. But I will show you how I constructed it, and you can kind of get an idea if you have this box or this pattern, because it's not even about the box at this point. It's if you have this pattern. It's how to put together this pattern in a different way. So this is my bead. You're off to Lurkland? No problem. We are sending immunity fairies your way. Yeah, that would be fabulous because really, I don't want to be sick. All right, so I'm going to take my B, put that on there. And then this is going to be my C. And what I did is not only did I write what I needed, but I actually made little demonstrations on how to cut my fat quarter so that that I do it right. Because you know my cutting has been a situation here. So definitely trying my best, right, to not have a situation. So yesterday, the blocks that I worked on, I finished all those blocks. I put them together, and I'm going to make a video about it here in the near future, and you will see the reveal. I have yet to do the borders. I'm still thinking on what I'm going to do for borders. Now, this is very tight, this one. So let me make sure that this is 18, yep, and that this is 21. Ooh, it is not 21. Ooh, because that's what happens. I love art gallery, but their selvages are a little big. So I think actually it'll be fine. It's just under 21, and this is under 20. Well, we're gonna go see what happens. We will see what happens. All right. Well, let me get this big piece out of the way. And I can make 4 blocks, and I need a total of 16 blocks to do this quilt. So that's why I added 2 more fat quarters to do it this way, and then doing the little squares, the accent squares, we'll do that separately. This is going to be tight. Let's see. Oh, we'll be fine. Okay. See, I get so nervous. You ever, who here cuts their fabric for a pattern? And then you get cutting and you're like really nervous because you're not sure if you're going to make it, if you're going to have just enough. I always get like that, especially when I don't have extra. It is a freak out I normally have. It's funny, when I first was quilting and I was, you know, being taught on how to buy fabric and everything, they always said buy extra, and that's like what's in our heads. And then this is why we end up with so much scrap. So this is what I end up with, a scrap for C. I cannot somehow, well, maybe somehow I can incorporate it. I don't know. But this is going to be a scrap. So I'm going to stick it in my Ginger Quilter box. That's where I'm sticking that. My scraps. Okay, so I just made it with all the pieces, and we can now start strip piecing this quilt block. I'm going to only do this. I'm not cutting the whole quilt because I honestly don't know if this is going to work. This is, you know, something that I came up with. It works on paper and pen, you know, but we'll see. We'll bring it over. Let's see if this works. And then maybe we can make this block a lot speedier. Not that quilting has to be a speed thing, but, you know, there's a lot of quilts to be made. Lots of quilts to be made. Let's see. All right, good morning, Pat. I see Pat finally got my garden planted. Oh, that's great. Airborne and elderberry are good for some prevention. Oh, I have elderberry pills. I'm going to start taking those. Yesterday, I can't tell you how many times I was sneezed at. Literally felt stuff touch me. Ugh. I felt like half the time I needed to be Lysoled and just steamed. I washed my hands so much, but you know, I do think it's airborne, whatever this is, because they all got it, all of them, some form, some are worse than others. Okay, here we go. So we are going to, so I have it cut, and now I'm going to see what I need to do. So I need to take this A, and this is this A here, and add 2 B's on the sides here. So we're going to sew that part. That's the first, what I have created my own strip sets and all these pieces here. Is she cutting in or out for anyone else? We're having all kinds of craziness. I was watching Soft Squares yesterday. I went to bed early. I gave up after a little bit. I hope you all found some wonderful things. I was so jealous of all that wonderful new line stuff, but it's out of my reach right now. And we are having bad weather. I'm assuming that my internet is working, but honestly, I wouldn't know because I'm on my cell phone. No cutting in and out, but the voice doesn't match with the video, so I had to refresh. Okay. Sorry there. I don't know what's going on. If it continues to happen, my guess is that I might have, well, I can tell. No, I can't tell. I was going to see if, my phone will always show I have Wi-Fi even though I don't have Wi-Fi because I have an extender. If you keep having issues, just let me know. And I'm skipping. I know, and I haven't really had many issues. The only thing I can think of is that my internet went out, but I'm really not sure. Yours is fine. Okay, well, we'll give it a little bit and see. So we have this fur this first strip set that I have here, okay? Then the second one that I've kind of figured out is this B piece here. And we're going to put 2 C pieces next to it. And I am using the 18-inch side. When I made this, I'm using the 18-inch instead of the 21-inch when you're cutting it out for it to work. And then this, each set that I make gives us 4 blocks. Had to go out and back in. You're in and out. Okay, well, if it persists, I might have to just end this because we are having weather. I was trying to hope that the weather wasn't affecting us. Let's see. Let me turn on my TV, because if I turn on my TV and there's no internet, I think my Roku tells me that. Now, as you can see, when I was sewing this set, I sewed one way. So I sewed from here down, which means now I'm going to sew from this top down here so things do not become wonky. All right, now let me see if oh, I tell you, technology is just a not going to say what it is, but sometimes. Let's see about connection. It says, oh, it says the connection is good. It's not excellent. So there is a connection, but it's not that great. So we'll see how it, maybe it was synced with your blinking. Let's see. Okay. It just says that it's good, which normally it's excellent. All good after reset for me. All right. Well, I'm going to keep sewing and show you, at least with this one set, for those who have this ginger quilter box, or those who have this pattern, or those who want to buy this pattern. All right, so that then leaves me with this and this, and I'm not quite sure why I have all these pieces, so maybe I did something wrong already. Because that is C. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, now I'm going to press, oops, we're going to press these. And that's this and this. We're going to press. And do that here. All right, coming back. Nope. I'm going to show you how I press these in a second. So I press these out. See that? And then I press these in because this is going to go on top of here and I want things to nest. So we're going to come here and cut off. We're going to start cutting up these. Oops, this has to, I have to come back in here and fix this. That wanted to give me some problems, so I gave it a little spritz of best press. Okay, so this is the A color, and I need to cut these out in, here it is, strip A. This is what the size I need. So I'm going to grab this here, and I am going to so what is everyone working on? And hopefully I should be able to get 4 of these. It's so close. So close. Oh, got it. Just made it. Probably should not trim anything. So I have these. And now I'm going to need to do this set. And this set is my second set. And I need to, okay, showing me now. I'm going to go that side because that one had the less amount of trimming. So again, I'm just doing this for the first time. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try. And how many pieces of this I need. Okay, so this one actually has got room, wiggle room, because this actually gets me an extra piece. Because I only need 8 pieces of this one. The other one I needed 4 pieces of out of my strip. So the way this is constructed, there's nothing wrong with it, is each of these pieces are individually, oh, I need one more piece, individually pieced. Which is fabulous if that's what you want to do. Okay, then I have this little extra piece. I'm just going to stick that in my box. And now we're going to go over and sew that. See how we do there. Anyone? Oh, and then we're going to talk about the houses, okay? We're going to definitely talk about the houses. Let me go through here. I have Miss back. Okay, so good morning, Joyce. Working on my quilt for my son, paper piece kitty cat, Scrappy. Great. Trying to get to my bobbin fix. It keeps nesting. Okay. He's close to 40. Working on things, fixing students' mistakes so they can try again. Well, it's a big important part for them to learn Jack. Meet Jack, the seam ripper, right? Took it apart at least 6 times already. Oh no, Joy, I'm so sorry. Working on pot holders. Lovely. I downloaded the pattern for the house yesterday and started tinkering with it for a little while. Good morning, Jessica. Speaking on that, Linda, it does say 5 by 7, not 7.5, right? Yes, it does. And that's why I made a post saying it's 5.5 by 7. 5.5 by 7. I downloaded the pattern. Well, I had it downloaded. I brought it home from school. Of course, I left it downstairs. But it is 5.5 by 7. So you don't have to follow that pattern. You can go wild, but the block should be 5.5 by 7. The sun came out and I stayed outside for some vitamin D. Great. Okay, so I am going to put, I was going to say the recipe calls for 4 blocks. The recipe in these 3 pieces of fabric call for 4 blocks. So yesterday I picked up, I had my last doctor's appointment. Well, for this specific thing that I had to do. It was my last PT appointment. And because I'm still dealing with diverticulitis and it's impeding some things. So she wants to revisit in September. So hopefully I will be a little bit more back to normal. She's recommending a dietitian, even though all the GI doctors, and I asked them, and my regular doctor says, no, you don't need that. So I am going to go because, like she said, we want to make sure that this isn't something else. And so she's lovely. I'm going to miss her. I was going to her once a week for, I don't know what, 6 weeks now? I don't know, since my surgery. So lovely. But anyway, after the doctors, I went and got Honey a fun cake. So he didn't want regular cake this year. His favorite cake is a carrot cake or a dense flourless chocolate cake, and he did not want that. So what he wanted was just ice cream, like an ice cream sundae. And he was just like, just pick up just cartons of ice cream, and we're gonna do that. I didn't like that idea so much. So I went to this local place that I've heard about. And I've had one of their things. So it's a homemade ice cream shop. They have soft serve. They do all kinds of flavors, but it's homemade. It's they sell milk and anything dairy. So if you need, you know, sour cream, cottage cheese. It's a dairy farm, and it's called Boyce's Dairy. So they have ice cream, and I hear they make outrageous something called ice cream pies. So yes, I picked him up an ice cream pie because I said, "Well, what about an ice cream cake?" He said, "No ice cream cake. I just want ice cream." That he goes, "We're not spending $40 on an ice cream cake. That's just unnecessary." So he's going on and on about this. I'm like, okay, I listened to it. It went in here and then went right out to there. And out it went because I did not spend $40 on this ice cream cake, but it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't $40. But they're known for these ice cream pies, and you just get what you get unless you order ahead of time. And I am not going to be going into Kingston anytime soon this week. So yes, so I got him an ice cream pie, and what they had from all the choices, there weren't many by the time I got there, right? Because they make them daily fresh, and I was towards the end of the night. I got some kind of chocolate pie, and it had Oreos in there, and it had all this chocolate fudge on there, and it had an Oreo crust, and then loads of cherries all over. It was like a Black Forest chocolate ice cream pie. No, I did not spend $40, Myra. It ended up costing me $22 or something like that by the time everything was done. I didn't actually know how much the cakes were there. Now they had cakes, ice cream cakes that looked like cakes, and they were like, actually they were $50. And then they had little teeny tiny ones that were like $35. But then they have their pies, and their pies are different prices. Because they're all, you know, different flavors and different things. So yeah, so he's got that. I came in the house really quick and I hid it in the deep freezer. So that's going to be for Friday. I don't care if he's not happy with my decision because I wanted to get him a cake or a special thing. Well, it is ice cream. It's ice cream. It's just ice cream reinvented in yummy, yummy flavors. You always, I know, Deb, we too, right? We both always call that recipes. I guess I'm used to making my own. I had no clue that they were. Yes, yes, and I normally do too. Too funny. My Siri came up and said I was not going to spend $40, and she says I don't understand. um, I normally make stuff too, but honestly, I am not 100% still. I cannot wait till school ends. I gotta tell you, we were talking yesterday. My doctor's name is Kyra with the R. And we were talking yesterday. I said, I'm gonna miss talking to you. I said, I think that was the better part than the physical therapy. So, you know, I'm just not myself. We discussed that once school ends, my body will definitely need the 2 months to just recover, and I am so tired. So I come home just exhausted. I did not want to go to the doctor's. She says, like, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, okay, we're just gonna go right to do it." And I go, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, I'm." She says, "Well, how are you? How are you feeling today?" I said, "Honestly, I didn't even want to come here. I was so tired. Not because I didn't want to not see you, just because I'm just so tired." So, but you know. And so therefore going into that, I'm just so tired, and I don't know, I just don't have it in me to be cooking and baking right now. I'm giving myself a break because I'm sure I'm trying to fight whatever disease is going on right now in those kitties, sniffles and snarling. All right, I'm going to press this, and I think I'm going to press this. Am I going to press this out, or am I going to press this in? Good question. Let's see what the next step to this is. The next step is just a solid piece is coming in there. So the pressing in or out does not affect how this block lays. Okay, so I think I'm going to press in. I think my fabric wants to say press in because it doesn't want to flap out. And yeah, I think it's a little less bulky. So we're going to press these in. I'm almost done. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I could have made an ice cream pie. An ice cream cake is more entailed, but I had a graham cracker crust. I could have just made an ice cream pie. Why didn't I think of that yesterday? I could have been like, I don't know, $10 richer. But guess what? Now I don't have to worry about it. So I guess the $10 is worth for me to just be chill. I hear birds. Do you have a window open? I sure do have a window open. Now that the weather is nice, I have a window open. So we have this. The next part is we add this. Of course, you know, you would be adding all this singly, these. Now, how many can I get on here? Let's see. And what should this measure? I should know what this measures. Oh, here it is. Okay. I need 8 of these, and I have to cut them a certain size. Let me make sure this is all measuring what it should measure. That my piecing is accurate. Yes, my piecing is accurate because this machine is back. That's why my piecing is accurate. Okay, so I need 8 of these pieces, and you have the size in your in your recipe. You have your size. Okay. Now that I have this more tailored, this should be easy. So this is 4, 8, and I gotta have this. Put that in my box, and this is ready. Oh, I know why. I didn't cut background. I need background. That's what this last, there was one more strip set I needed to do. Background. So here we go. This here is the background that I'm using. And these are all scraps from previous projects. So do I have something that is close to 18 inches? Look at all these. Okay, so I have a lot that is around about the size I need. Oh, these are 18 and I only need 2, so perfect. All right, let me. Okay, so this was the background that I chose to use, and I need so we're going to make one more strip set. I have my size that I need. There we go. I know I felt like I was missing something, but I couldn't. You know what? I'm not going to try to underarm this whole thing. That's crazy. All right. That goes with this. All right, so we're going to go back. All right, so now that I kind of worked out the kinks, I know now I have to add those background strips to here. But as you can see, it's a pretty, goes together pretty well. It's gray there. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Barb. Almost rolled out of bed. I know this gray weather is not that great, is it? Friends, don't forget to hit the like button. Well, thank you. So we're gonna come back to this area, this part here, and I press this in, okay? So now the next step is we're gonna take our seasides. I'd like to be by the seaside right now. And I don't know if my mama's here, but my son is visiting my mama, and I heard that when he got off the plane, and first of all, I forgot to tell him that when you go to Puerto Rico, that there is no like terminal, like there's no like coming off and you walk that ramp and into the airport. There's just like, this is what happens. You come for descent in Puerto Rico, you land, and they drop out the stairs and you go right off onto the tarmac. So I forgot to tell him that. And so later on when we were talking, I said to him, oh, I forgot to tell you that. He goes, yeah, I was wondering what was going on here. It was like, we landed, it was like, okay, everybody jump. Right out to the tarmac. And he said, and then I go inside to go get my bags, and it's just like one little belt and everybody. So he's like, yeah, he had never experienced that before. So that was funny, but my mom waited for him right outside of baggage, and he told me they came, they saw each other, they cried, right, Mom? If you're still on here, they cried and cried. Then my grandmother called me. Yes, my grandmother called me. And at work, she normally doesn't do that. She goes, you stinky, you didn't tell me that he was coming. And he goes, I know you like to give me surprises, and that was the best surprise. And oh, I cried. She went on and on and on. And she goes, I got to see my Dylan. So it was so nice. Grandma was so shocked, so happy. My mom was so happy. I've never heard so much from my son in one day. Like, he kept showing me pictures. Now, this is his first time going to Puerto Rico. So, yes. So, he was pictures. Even last night as I'm in bed, I get pictures. Yes, of my mom and him. So, it's so nice to see such beautiful smile on his face. And I hope he has a very good visit. I hope you all have a very good visit. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Going to look out for internet help with Bob. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jody, you're going through that. Hope you find what you want. Smacking unruly fingers. Ooh. The Aguadilla airport is a little old school. I can't wait to go. Wow, first time. That's so awesome. Yes. I love that airport, though. I love Aguadilla airport. I have never flown into Maya West Airport. My daughter flew into Maya West Airport. And she says, I'm never flying into Maya West Airport ever again. Because that airport is like a propeller proper, or what propeller, whatever you call it, like those prop air planes, proper air, I don't know what you call them, but where everybody has to get weighed, everybody goes on a giant sail, everybody gets weighed together with their luggage. That kind of plane. She said she closed her eyes the entire trip. She said, thank goodness. So it was connecting from San Juan. So she went from San Juan to Maya West in that little thing. And we didn't know. That was like one of her first times, maybe a second time to Puerto Rico. So we had no idea that was the experience. So I don't know if I would ever do that, but yeah. So I don't know how going there is. And Ponce, I've never been to the Ponce airport. So I believe it's 4 air of my I think it's 4 airports on the island. So anyway, yes. So there's a lot happening. A lot of great things happening. this week. And I'm so jealous because I just want to be there. My son called, and one of many calls that I've talked to him. Sometimes I don't hear from him because you know kids in their 20s, you don't hear from them. They're just they're in their 20s, they're living their life. I'm going to quickly press this. Oh, but I've got to figure out how to press this. So I need to press this. I need to press this out. I need to press this out. All right, so I've got it pressed out. So we have this now. Yeah, he called me. He says, "Mom, the house is so beautiful. It's so spacious and whatnot." And I was like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I just didn't expect that." He's like, "It's so wonderful." Everybody's like, "Oh, Dylan's moving in." We were just laughing. Yeah, so it's cool. It is cool. He didn't expect it. I don't know what he expected, but my honey did do a lot of work. The house, oh, there was really a hot mess. But my honey, he spent a lot of time there over the winter trying to make it a beautiful home for us. So and my mom just put in a table in the house. I haven't been there yet. So when we go, there'll be you know, a dining room table or kitchen table. All right. So now we have. Are you going to be moving to Port? No, I'm not moving my. I mean, I'm going. I have to work here for another 5 years before I can do anything. But we're gonna be back and forth. My honey will probably be there more than I will. And my children, you know, they're welcome to be there on vacation or whatever. But I will be there all summer long. All summer long. All summer long. I cannot wait. I really can't. All right, so here we go. So this is, so there's 3 strip sets I need to make. Let me go. Okay, so now we're going and we have to see. So this is how it's pressed. Okay, here. Did I spell that right? See that? And I'm going, that means if this is out, these have to be pressed in so that when let me make sure. Yes, so that they nest. So I'm going to press these in. All right, so we're gonna have this here. This strip set here, as you can see, I pressed in. And what I'm going to do is cut what I need. And I'm looking here for my last strip set, same thing. Don't have to be too cautious. The very first set is the one that I need to be cautious about. But the rest I don't. So when I was little and I flew to Puerto Rico, I had only ever gone to the San Juan airport. But remember, I was during the time where when you went to take a flight, no one was wearing pajamas. No one looked like a hot mess. Everyone, you actually went out and bought a special outfit to fly. Back then we flew on American, Pan Am, or TWA, whichever one. I think I've flown on all those 3 back in the day. But yes, you went out and you bought a special outfit to go traveling in. Everybody was decked out. You ordered a meal. And all that stuff. My kids were not of that generation, so they have no clue what I'm talking about. And then I need 8 of these pieces. Who here remembers that generation when you went out to buy a special outfit to go on the airplane? Who remembers that? Other than myself. I'm going to go read the comments in a second. I'm just excited. I want to see if this revamping of how to do this block works. Okay, here we go. Good morning, Giovanna. All we're missing is Melanie. All right. Okay, let's see. Core memory unlocked. Age 9. I vividly remember going off plane in Puerto Rico, unaccompanied minor. That's what I'm always doing. That's what I did when I was, well, that's not true. I think it was only one time I did that. And I think it's like coming home. Going there, I always went with abuela and abuelo because they would go in the summers and they were our, took care of us. Unaccompanied, and seeing my abuela's smiling face calling my name in the crowd of people. How wonderful. Did I spell that right? I've never been. I hear it's lovely. I had no idea, Jessica, that you had abuelos and abuelas in Puerto Rico. That's exciting. Do you remember where? What a sweet memory. Did you get dressed up? And I remember when I was flying on a company, they'd give you wings. You would meet the pilot. You would sit in first class. They would put you in first class. When my family flew back to Puerto Rico, I was 14 and we flew Eastern Airlines. Those are great colors together. I just finished a 3rd quilt using orange and blue and the gray choices made by my great nephew who are brothers. Fortunately, I used 3 different patterns. Oh, that's great. Leanna, that shake. Yes, I know. Never flew on a plane till I was in my 30s. But you do know what I mean. No problem in it. You do know what I mean, right? About the plane. Some of you, where you all got dressed up, super dressed up. You do, me. I mean, that was like a big deal. That was a really big deal. Yep. Here we go. Is Toribio, so my Trujillo. Toribio from Trujillo, Alto. Okay. I won't be chatting much as no problem. I understand that. Hi, Catherine. Yes, that was the only way to fly. Absolutely. All right, so I am pinning. I'm pinning my areas so that, so we try not to have wonky, but it's okay to have a wonky block. It's okay. So house, let's talk about the house, the community. I just cannot wait till everyone is a part of it. It's 5.5 by 7-inch block. I downloaded the pattern. I put it on a post so you can all start mailing. If you want to make trees, just make the tree however you want. Again, just make sure that tree block or whatever thing you want to add into our community right? Because there's birds and there's butterflies if someone wants to attempt that. Just make sure you stay in the parameters of 5.5 by 7 by 7. There we go. My first flight was in 1976. I went every summer, age 5 to 15. Great. Malaysia, good morning. Oh, yes, first time I flew to Texas by myself. My mom decked me out. Yes, I'm sure, were decked out. And then you ordered your food, right? Oh my, I remember, like, you'd get all kinds of meals I've had. I flew, I think, quite a bit. I have memories of flying. So, I remember like lasagna and chicken and all those things that one would have. You could get a kid's meal. And now I think about, where did they put all those like dishes and stuff? I mean, then it came to a point that they didn't do the food, but then airlines were like baking brownies and fresh cookies on flights. I don't know if you remember that. They don't do that anymore either. Now we're lucky if they throw you a water bottle and a bag of chips your way. Frontier chocolate chip hot cookies. Yes, I remember some of that. I didn't know it was Frontier. I just I flew a lot. When my kids were little and I lived in Texas, I flew to see my parents, right? Because they needed to see their grandbabies every 4 months. So 3 to 4 times a year, I flew with all the kids. So my kids were, used to planes very early in life, because like I flew when they were babies, and it was easy when I flew with one. Interesting when I flew with 2. And crazy when you fly with 3. But Luke, when we flew with Luke, it was, I don't know, did we even fly with Luke a lot when he was little? I don't think so, because we moved back to New York when Luke was only a couple weeks old. I think Luke was my one baby that didn't fly until he was a little bit older. My uncle was Mexican, so it was very different for me. I stayed for months. Oh, wow. We got to go this morning. Oh, you have a wonderful day too. I am making this quilt right here. Oh, you can't see it because I've got all these papers on there. I don't know where my other, oh, here it is. We're making this quilt right here. Cousins were in Edinburgh, Texas, 6 miles from the border. Ah. Zaza. I haven't seen Zaza in a while. Hopefully Zaza's okay. Some of our peeps I haven't seen in a bit. I hope they're all good, doing good. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do this other side, and then we could see the complete block and see how we're doing. Oh my goodness, time flew. I didn't even do any questions. The time flew so big, so fast. Listen to me. So fast. Well, at least I know this method that I came up with actually makes the blocks, and that's great. I'm excited, so excited. Love when things work out. So I'm going to press these, show you the block, and then I want to show you the quilt that I was working on yesterday. It still needs borders. That's for another day. I'm still trying to figure things out with that quilt. When I was putting it together, yesterday. I just need some therapy sewing. I changed it up. Oops. Here is the block. Here's the block. So this is 4. We need 16 of these. So we are just going to continue making these as we go. Look how crazy, how good that is. It's so good. I love that block. It looks so good. Let me show you the quilt and then we can be on our merry way because I cannot believe, where did the time go? It's because I've only been on here an hour. I cannot get myself together this week. I'm tired. I've been staying in and I've been awake, but I've been actually laying in bed. All right. So this quilt in the book is laid out 4x4. I decided I was just gonna keep for some reason I forgot that I had 2 different colors going here. So when I was saying I was thinking about a different setting, I kept the same setting, but I didn't do 4x4. I ended up doing 4x1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 3x5. So it's a nice long quilt, which is good, right? And then in the pattern, they just, ooh, look at that, I had a little bit of glue there. They use all the same color, and I did the checkerboard situation here. Let me see. I'm sorry. Ready? Here we go. I can't go up more, but here. There it is. So I did, where can I get this? There it goes. Is that close enough? I'm sorry. My camera. Hi, Melanie. There's Melanie. She's getting ready for her kiddos. Muriel, good morning. So let me show you what the original is. The original is this, and it was a 4x16 using just one color. And so then I had decided to do a checkerboard effect. And then I didn't want a square quilt. I wanted an oblong quilt, but which means is that the sides need something. The sides need something, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the sides. I have a thought, but this is going to take some time if I do this. And you're going to think maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just cray-cray. But they have different things here. So I'm going to show you 2 things here. Where is it? Okay. So I'm playing with this idea. Let's see if... So one of the things is I could do... I have a pile of fabric. So this is what I have left. I have this left, okay? Because they gave me some, right? So I could do like a border, kind of like this hexie. I was thinking I could take this, the hexies, and make hexies, and then do like a hexie border around this using all these bright colors, right? All the way around. And then I got thinking, look at this. Isn't this cute? I could make this into a border. It's called the inchworm quilt. Look at that. This inchworm quilt. But in this illustration, and when you put it together, let me see where I thought, ooh, that might make a nice border. Look, when you have, I hope I'm not showing anything that is, but you see there, I could take that and maybe do something like that, because you put them in two pieces and you put the two halves together. I could do something like that and put that as a border, right? Or my mind was going because I almost don't want this to stop. So look at this quilt. Isn't this cool? So I got thinking, it's never good when I'm thinking, right? That look at this. I was looking at this and I got thinking, what if I took, like you see here, and just did these, not this, but just these, and put those on the sides? I don't know, because I like, why am I giving myself all this trouble? But I want to do something to, it needs a big border on the sides. The top can just be a plain border because it's kind of long. So it could be a plain border, but I thought to do something snazzy on the sides would be cool. So this book is called Me and My Sister's Designs. This was gifted to me by one of you. And it has, let me show you this. Where did it go? Oh no, I've got to find it. Okay. And it comes with this, which I have to find. It's weird that it's not there, but and I also had been gifted this. So I got the book, and this was gifted to me during Christmas time. Someone sent me in like an Advent type of my own Advent box. So that's where this came from. I love this book. I love this. And after making this, I'm really loving it. There's this right here that I really want to make. Is this not so cute? This is super adorable. I want to make that. And I made this using scraps that I had. I like your version better. You are crazy, but we still love you. What is the pattern again? I've been making regular Dresdens from leftover fabric, and I have to finish quilts to remind me. Okay, so the one that was in this book is called Double Wide Dresden. It's just called the Double Wide Dresden on here. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Kenny. Or Keeney. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right. Good morning. Good morning, Deanna. Thank you. Do you have colored loosely? Do you have colored loosely on black material that will pull the colors together? I have black. This is blue. This is navy blue though. Polka dot. Not loosely. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me read that again. Do you here we go. I like your version of mixed colors. Oh, do I have a polka dot? Got it. Do you have a colored polka dot on black material that would pull? Yes, that would be cute. A polka dotted. If I have a polka dotted, yes, if I have blue and white polka dots, that would be cute, but I don't have that. I don't have that, but that would be super cute. The inchworm tops would look like half blocks along the sides. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, Melanie's getting her kiddos ready for school. So yeah, so there's a lot of options. So that's why I didn't finish this morning. I'm really trying to come up with different things. I don't know. I'm excited about this quilt. I could just, these are fat quarters. We're only talking about, this is how much of this, and I have this. This is what I have for the actual scraps from the quilt. This here are full on, you know, fat quarters. I actually just would love to keep doing these quilts in Cafe fabrics, and I do not have that. I mean, this is my Cafe that I have right now, because I just love his stuff, and it's just, oh, it's so vibrant. So maybe what I'll do is, if people have Cafe scraps that they're not using and they don't want, you can send them my way and I'll put them to good use. How about that? But anyway, I do have to go to work. Yeah, that's a thing, right? It's a thing. So everyone have a wonderful day. I will see you all. What's today? Did the book come with the ruler? It was sent to me that way, but I think it's two different things, because this says Missouri Star, me and my sister's double wide Dresden, and it came like this in a separate thing, and then this came separately. Now, does Missouri Star sell these together? Maybe. Do they sell them separate? I have no idea, but when I got this as a gift, it was this is the way I got it. But I will say, in the book, here I could show you. Here, this is not giving any measurements. In the book, if you do not have this, the book has the templates in here, like paper templates that you can copy and make yourself. But this does make it a whole lot easier. I checked, they no longer have it. Maybe you could find the book somewhere and cut. I mean, it does have, you know, like I said, it does have the templates in there. But I love it, and I'm going to continue working out of this book because I'm loving it. And now I got to find my ruler. That's weird that it's not in here. My guess is because I tucked the ruler in with the book. Or it might be in my box. Now I'm on a hunt, Johnny. I'm on a hunt to look for it because I need it. Anyway, everyone have a wonderful day. See you soon. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. And I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is, I don't remember what day we're on, honestly. So I'm not going to pretend I know. I think today's Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.